Oh my goodness, running a little bit late. Sorry, guys. That whole 1 minute, I'm sure they're
Well,
horrible. I was like running around like crazy. We just got done. We just went and did our big grocery shopping trip for the next week for the holiday for all that stuff, and so we bought like a ridiculous amount of groceries, and then had to like bring them all inside and put most of them away, and then I had to get ready for the show, and I was like, "Oh, geez, it's already almost 2 o'clock.
we're
What's
rushing.
going on? Rushing, rushing, rushing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Greetings, everyone.
Happy Sunday. I hope everyone is ready for the holiday. Happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, whatever it is that you are celebrating.
Yeah,
All
all the things.
the things.
Yeah,
Happy Christmawana,
I don't know how it goes.
Kawana. Forget it. I can't do the tongue twister trying to put them all into one word. Anyway, welcome in.
Welcome. All right, real quick. Are we tan, glowing, and ready for the holidays? Not tan, although Vicky did get like a little bit of a spray tan
That's
before
gone.
we were heading out to go on our cruise. We're not going to get into it. We did not actually go on our cruise. We did not get on the ship, and we had a personal private family emergency. It was a huge bummer. We were super bummed about it, especially because last year for Christmas, Vicky got really sick and we had to pretty much cancel Christmas. So it feels like maybe our Christmases are cursed. I don't know. However, I will say it may have ended up being a really lame blessing in disguise. As you know, I have spent a lot of 2024 doing all my medical stuff, trying to take care of stuff, especially because, friends that we have that are going through things like our friend Lorna, who's younger than me, has cancer right now. It all had started with breast cancer that went undiagnosed. So I was like, I'm 45. I'm a couple of years older than Lorna. I should probably get myself taken care of. And I went and I've been doing all the things, right? I've been losing
lost
weight,
all the weight.
I went and got a pap smear, which I got for like 7 years. My very first mammogram. I went to a dermatologist, even got a mole shaved off, which ended up being totally benign.
Sound. Can you check the sound?
Oh, I know why. Hold on, guys. I know the problem because we were on a show. I bet it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good now. It's gonna be so good. We're not. I promise. It's gonna be so good.
Right, it should be better now.
Yeah, it should. That should magically fix it. Okay. So anyway, I got a mole taken off my back that was questionable, but it ended up being totally fine. So it's like we're doing great, right, guys? So this last week, when we should have been on our cruise, I actually, in the middle of the night, ended up having what I thought might have been a heart attack. Women, it presents very differently. It was like it started with my back kind of feeling achy, and then I was getting these really sharp shooting pain, like right in the center of my chest, like kind of right below my sternum.
Solar plexus.
And then it was radiating to my back, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point I have a pretty high pain tolerance. It was getting so bad, like I was like up and pacing. It's like 3 a.m, and I finally had to wake up Vicky and be like, I don't know what's happening. It might be a heart attack. So we ended up taking the ambulance to the hospital, and
obviously not a heart attack. Well, maybe not obviously.
Well, maybe not. I mean, I could have had a heart attack and be totally fine now. You don't know. Anyway, no, my heart's totally fine. But it did turn out that, well, I don't know for sure, but they narrowed it down to it might be gallbladder related. Maybe, but I have to go in and get an actual ultrasound and all that stuff. And I have an appointment in a couple weeks. But I've got a couple kidney stones hanging out, possible gallbladder issue. And then my favorite part is I even have like some uterine fibroids I didn't even know about. One of which is 10.5 by 10 centimeters, which is like as big as my freaking fist. Just like kicking it, hanging out in my uterus, just like, hey, what's up? Just hanging out here. And haven't had any pain from it, but I have been having some weird bladder stuff, like not being able to pee or not being able to empty my bladder completely. And that's kind of accelerated these last couple weeks, which is driving her nuts because it's like every 5 seconds I gotta pee. So it's a lot, guys. But had we been on our cruise, I'm guessing there was a good chance because of the resources they have on the ship, I probably would have been like life flighted out or something. It would have been a really, really big mess. And
it would have been a lot more difficult than it being able to handle it at home. Yeah, basically, it's probably the gallbladder that gave her those pains. Anyone that has gallbladder issues can recognize that type of pain. She had just never had that before, and it is excruciatingly painful. And it also presents in a very similar way as a heart attack for a woman.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. Heart attack, women over the age of 40, heart attacks are the #1 killer. So please be aware of your surroundings and yourself and listen to your body. Get it checked out. Everybody said, we did the right thing by going in and making sure it wasn't her heart, because that is very close to what a heart attack would feel like for a woman.
So many people said that when the first time they had a gallbladder attack, they thought it was a heart attack, because it is so painful, and it's like and it happens in weird places. And like, you in movies you see like they clutch their heart when they're having a heart attack.
That's a man.
I know. I get it. That's what I'm getting to. Or like, it's like, oh, there's an elephant sitting on your chest. It's like, it was nothing like that. And I knew, that's why I was so scared. I knew that like for women, it doesn't present in quite the same way. And so I was like, I'm not messing around with this. So
anyway, worst case scenario, the gallbladder may have to come out. We'll see. But all of these things are manageable. It's not a heart condition, and none of it is life-threatening. So bottom line is, yes, the vacation did not happen, but blessing in disguise, we were home when this happened. And, here we go.
It was good times. Good times. Best part, though, is that, like, I've basically, I had gone the whole year without using up my deductible. Went ahead and did that a couple weeks before it resets. So
yeah, great.
It's great. So I'll have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. But anyway,
it's also very common to have gallbladder issues. There's 2 reasons. Either it is generally with people that are fairly heavy and
they say
overweight.
the 4 F's: female, fat, fertile, 40. Those are the 4 F's, and then the other part of it would be losing a bunch of weight.
Losing a lot of weight also triggers gallbladder stuff. So yay, happy holidays.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're fine. And she was fine within an hour of the pain onset. Frankly, that it went away. So sometimes gallbladder attacks can last hours and sometimes days.
I was like, man, if it would have been hours. I will say, now that I know what it was, and I have done, as per usual for me, I've done all kinds of research and stuff and things I can do in that moment to hopefully make it better or ease it. It's like, I don't want to go through it again, believe me, but at least I know it has nothing to do with my heart or anything like that. So, be totally fine. But the other big thing, like I was saying with the uterine fibroids, like now I'm like, okay, now I know what's going on with my bladder, and I can go ahead and hopefully get those out sooner than later and be done with that. And maybe I won't have to pee 20 times a day.
That would be nice.
It would be nice, because I like to stay hydrated, guys, but I have a feeling that giant thing that's in my uterus is like crushing my bladder or something. Which is not great when you are somebody who loves to drink lots of water, unlike some people I know. Well, it really does exacerbate the issue. So,
yeah, I've heard a lot of things about greasy, fatty foods, certain types of seeds that you can't process, and cheese and things like that. To be fair, we've been eating fairly clean for most of this year, so that part would not really bother us quite as much, because it would be it's an occasional thing that we eat.
And I'm also hoping that. Well, I saw some people, even people that get their gallbladder taken out, once they recover from the surgery, they don't have any food issues, but some people do. And but also, I'm hoping that like when they look at it further, it's not like a big issue to where I do need to have it taken out. Maybe I can just take some supplements or whatever, or something to like help it along a little bit, or maybe change my diet slightly, as more vitamin C, more, I don't know, whatever. I know kiwi's good. Did you know that?
No, I did not, but we like kiwi.
We do like kiwi. Anyway, so that has been part of our exciting last couple of weeks. It's been a very fun December, hasn't it? Nothing's going as planned, but that's okay. So,
well, the good thing is that we have our Christmas Eve open house that we're doing coming up, and more importantly, my daughter and her fiance and her roommate all arrived to spend a few days. So that's nice. We're gonna have family here for the holiday. Which I always love. My daughter doesn't come every year. Sometimes she can't work it around her work schedule. She does live. It's a 10-hour drive for her. It does take the majority of 2 days to get here and get home. So, and I would fly her in, but now she's bringing the grand dog.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see Gretchen. She's getting a little long in the tooth.
She's getting a little.
She's
old.
A cute little like cattle dog mix of some sort, and she's a good girl. So, It'll be interesting to see what she thinks of Ripley now, because she did meet Ripley the last time your daughter brought her for Christmas. Ripley was
years
just
ago.
a puppy. She was only a puppy, and so she was real annoying. And I'm thinking maybe they'll get along a little better this time. She won't be as annoyed by her.
Yeah, you know what, Allison? Here's the thing: Katie can't get in before the end of the year for the
Yeah.
rest of the stuff. So she met her whole deductible.
That's what I've been doing this year.
Starts over.
My deductible's pretty low. I think it's only like $800, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, that's what I was doing. I was getting everything in, and I did quite a bit of stuff. Like I think the only other thing I had on my list of things I wanted to do was a colonoscopy, but we're gonna save that till I think I'll be able to take care of that at the same time I take care of the gallbladder stuff, because it's all gastro.
It's
intestinal.
Not, it's the tubes go in different areas, dear.
Okay, I'm talking about it. Okay, I get that. I don't mean they're literally going to be working on them both at the same time. I'm talking about it's the same specialist that would be handling
Probably, yes.
both things. So I would be able to schedule it, like go and deal with one, schedule the other one. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I know they're not going to be like running things on all ends of me and like clearing me out. Like, come on. I'm not that dumb. Or dumb at all.
All right.
Anywho.
And thank you, Kara. Yeah, happy anniversary. It's our second anniversary was this week.
Yeah. We were we originally going to be on the ship for our anniversary? No, okay. I don't know. Because then all of a sudden we were like, oh yeah, I guess we should do something for that. Because the trip was for our anniversary, but then we didn't do it. So then we were at home and we were like, oh, I guess we're supposed to do something.
Yep.
And I don't remember what we did now. We went to some Christmassy stuff.
We went to the Bellagio to look at some Christmas.
Yeah, we did some Christmassy stuff, and then we went out to eat, and that was about it. But
saw another pop-up Christmas thing around town. We have great Christmas things to do around here, which was fun.
Yeah, for sure. Anywho, all right, it's a lot.
Hope everybody is having a better December.
I know, right? I don't know. I still feel like, yeah, that was super scary, but I got like multiple things, not diagnosed, but things like, oh, here's some things you should get checked out further. So to me, it just means 2025 is going to be me continuing on my health journey and getting everything dialed in. And then the
Allison
other part
says the second anniversary is the gallbladder anniversary.
Oh, all right, okay. And then also 2025, you guys can help us out here, help keep us accountable here. Is I need to get Vikki on the health train, as far as like she has a harder time with like making doctor's appointments and stuff, and so I have to like get that
I
started.
lost 60 pounds. I'm healthy.
Yeah. But as far as like doctor's
My
appointments,
blood work is healthy. All of that is good, but I do need to follow up with the doctor. I haven't done any doctor's appointments in a couple of years, so.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, so. Well, there's Liz. What's up, Liz? Liz asked us today if we still had a YouTube channel. She's such a bitch. So freaking rude. It's like, whatever. I don't need your passive aggressive crap.
That was active aggressive. I don't think that was passive aggressive.
No, she was like, oh, just wondering, you guys still have a YouTube channel? Why don't you shut your hole, Liz O'Kane? All right?
Wow. Katie is very aggressively nasty to Liz right now.
Liz, I have fun being mean to Liz. Because you know what? Because she can take it. That's why. She can take it.
Uh-huh.
And
Actually, Allison,
perhaps.
I am actually going to be 50 this year. I know you think 60 or 65, but I am going to be 50 this year, so you never know.
You never know. We'll see. All right, should we go ahead and get our show started?
Yeah.
I think we got through a lot in the 15 minutes.
We did.
So we're going to look at our numbers for this last week, and then did you pull sales from the last 3 weeks?
Yes.
I assumed, because you had
2 weeks.
because you picked like 13. Well, we've been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It was the 1st through the 21st. We have not. Our last show was on the 1st.
Okay.
So, whatever. Anyway.
I pulled from 2 weeks.
Okay.
As far as the sales.
All right. Okay, let me go ahead and share the screen here. I actually had not this week that we just finished up, but the week before was actually pretty decent for me.
Same.
The problem is, now here's one of the things, like, because we came home early, we were able to like get in some more work and probably helped our sales a little bit. But, this week it's like, people, you hit that certain cutoff point where it's like, good luck getting anything to you by Christmas. And so the sales kind of fell off. I've got like 4 eBay orders to go out tomorrow. I think a handful of other ones from the other platforms. And you said you had like 3 or 5, or what'd you say?
I have 4 on Etsy, 3 on eBay, 1 on Mercari, and 1 on Posh ready to ship for tomorrow. But literally 3 sales on eBay since Friday.
But I mean, that's pretty typical.
The week right before Christmas, that is pretty typical.
Yeah, and then hopefully Christmas, it'll bam, everybody's spending their Christmas money. And
Yeah,
hanging
this is by far though, and again, I know I feel like I sound like I'm whining. I'm sorry, guys, but like this has by far been my worst Q4 I've ever had. In 25 plus years of selling on eBay, this is it. This was dead as fuck.
I've had worse. And why don't you shut your mouth? It's baby Jesus's birthday almost, so you're very rude.
It's not his birthday today.
He doesn't appreciate
Technically not his birthday on Tuesday either. But.
He doesn't. You don't know? It's my dad's birthday today. He's not Jesus, though. All right. I had 25 eBay orders, 8 Etsy, 3 Poshmark, 9 between Grail, Mercari, and Depop. So for a total number of 45 outgoing orders. eBay gross sales, $1,097.21. Etsy, $488.42. Poshmark, $151. And then Grail, Mercari, and Depop combined $411. And total gross sales, $2,147.63. Shipping, $191.50. You can see the breakdown of the fees there. Cost of goods, $115. And total net sales, $1,635.74. Gross average sale price, $47.73, which is good. I like to keep it above $40. Net average sale price, $36.35. So, my numbers were okay. I have no idea what my numbers were like the week before that, since we weren't doing the show. But I'm pretty sure they were better than this week.
Mine were better. Mine were better last week, way better last week than they are this week.
Yeah, I had like multiple. I had a couple of days like last week where it's like I had 10, 12, even 13 orders going out like on a weekday. So a lot of smaller stuff, but yeah, it's pretty good. All right, let me look at your numbers, Victoria.
It's okay.
Yeah.
25 eBay orders. eBay was weak this week. 16 on Etsy. Etsy was a good week. Etsy's been outperforming or equally performing, I guess. I mean, percentage-wise, let's put it that way. Etsy's been really good. Poshmark, I had 8. I had 3 on Mercari. 52 total for the week. $16.95 and change on eBay. A little over $1,000 on Etsy. $362 on Posh. $111 on Mercari for a total for the week of $31.89.22.
Nice.
It was a decent week, over 3,000. I don't think I'm ever going to be back to my 2021 or 2022 days again. But it is what it is. $298 in shipping. I did have some very big items that shipped out this week. And then my cost of goods always relatively low, $210. And I also had some higher priced cost of good items in there. But my total net is close to where I like it to be. I like the net to be at $2,500 a week.
Yeah.
So $23,1957. It's not terrible. Not terrible.
Oh, look at you not being terrible.
I know. My gross average sale price was $61. So that's
pretty good. What's up, Vasquez Vintage?
Hey, ladies. Nice to see you in the chat.
Hello. All right. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at all of our sales highlights here. I think I figured out what I messed up on when I was doing that.
We're rushing to put the show together because
because I have to like get all of our sales and then I have to get all the tabs laid out and make them go back and forth. Oh, what Scott Cha-ching King coming? This is like the first. This is the first. I don't even know what it's called anymore. Super chat. Like, what is the word? This is the first super chat we've had in forever. So
I don't think we've had one in at least 6 months.
It's been because I think everyone's kind of over us.
I think we should bring back the super chat song.
You think so?
I mean, don't you people in the chat?
Super chat, it's super chat day, yo.
It's been at least. All right, that was my bad idea. Sorry. It's been at least a year since we've done a super chat song. Thanks,
it's
Scott.
True. Oh, that kind of gave me a headache.
All right, those of you guys that don't know, by the way, Scott Cha-ching King is one of our speakers for the Boss Reseller
That's
Remix.
right.
He's gonna have.
Scott, what's this $10? You're not getting your $10 back.
I want my $10.
Especially,
back.
well, YouTube will take its chunk, so I'll send you your check for $6.73 or whatever it is.
Anyway, if you haven't purchased yourself your tickets for the Boss Reseller Remix yet, why not? This is your Christmas gift to yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business for next year. Write it off on this year's write-offs.
Yeah. What's going on, Linda Dean? I can never call her just Linda. I have to call her Linda Dean. It's a whole name or nothing.
It is. Linda, I hope you're doing well. I know she had another medical procedure this week. So hope everything's going well. I see you're in the chat, so it's got to be better than the alternative, right?
Yeah. So look at y'all looking all slim and ready for the new year. It's funny because we're all excited about going on a cruise. We had Vicky had all these dresses she was taking, and I had a couple of suits. I had a really cool black and red velvety tuxedo jacket and a little bow tie. And then we didn't go, and so we ended up going to the Blind Center had their annual Christmas party night before last, and so we were like, oh, we can dress up for that. And so I got to put on my
So we dressed up a little.
I got to dress up. It was pretty awesome. Because that's the most fun part when you lose a little weight, and it's when you're feeling pretty awesome in your clothes.
We went to a Christmas party last Sunday too, guys. I have to tell you about this. So we have this friend here in town who she actually works with Gene Simmons. She runs and owns all of the Kiss mini golf franchises all over the country. So her and her husband, and he's in a band. Anyway, they're super cool. But their house and their parties are legendary. They do these really cool themed parties all the time.
Yeah.
So this particular party, it was a Bad Santa Christmas party. It was Bad Santa Christmas brunch party, actually. So there was the big Bloody Mary bar set up. But also we had Santa who was dirty and smoking a cigar and drinking whiskey.
He's smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah, and drinking whiskey out of the bottle, and a little person.
And cussing a lot.
And a little person, just
who was dressed as an elf and was also cussing a lot and flipping off the camera.
It was super fun.
They did trivia, which we won.
They had a trivia company come in and do trivia for everyone, and we won because we liked the trivia. Katie loved that. And then there was also an inflatable snow globe bouncy house type thing for you to take pictures inside the snow globe. It was crazy.
It was really fun. But they are huge collectors, and so they collect all kinds of really cool, interesting, weird stuff and vintage stuff. And Vicky, even though we were there for a number of hours, Vicky did not use the bathroom once because she's never hydrated. But the bathroom, which I did use 3 times because I am hydrated and also have a fist-size fibroid pushing into my bladder. I'm just going to say that whenever I can. Their bathroom was a reseller's dream. There was all kinds of really cool, kitschy, vintage toys and collectibles, but all really fun kind of goofy stuff.
Yeah, Christina is
you're in a museum.
Is a huge eBay aficionado. She loves to buy on eBay. So they have all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're
actually fun. The very best part about being able to fit into good clothes is being able to fit into some of my vintage inventory. And so I have been loving wearing I've got when I wear sweatshirts, I usually just wear hoodies, zip up hoodies. I like them to be a little bit more slimming. Part of it is because I was more chubby before. So I didn't wear a lot of pullovers, but I have all these awesome vintage Christmas pullover sweatshirts that I've been wearing because they actually fit me and they look super cute, and it's been really fun. And so that's what's been really great is
being able to fit into a size medium and a size 7-8 is crazy.
Well, and being able to, and you've been able to put on some vintage dresses too, and that's been really exciting. So anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and get into our sales highlights. And let me share the screen here. I usually start with Vicky. This is where I was I had totally confused myself because
Did you see Tommy there? I was getting munchies in the kitchen.
Yeah, I was ignoring Tommy because Tommy's an asshole.
Tommy's funny.
Anyway, I usually start with one of your items, and I accidentally put it in wrong, and that's why it was all weird and offset, and I was confusing myself. Anyway, this is not anything exciting, but you guys know how I've been buying ridiculous amounts of hoodies every time I go to the bins, but they sell, and they don't have to be vintage. And this one, for instance, not vintage. It's just O'Neill surfer sweatshirt hoodie. It's just got a great.
Having a moment again.
Yeah, but it just has a great graphic on it, and it's sold for the price you see there, $41.99 plus $8.95 shipping. So You know, and it's like I always complain about the texture of newer hoodies, and they don't make them all like that, but a lot of them, they're pretty gross. So to me, it's like it's totally worth picking up a hoodie if you have the space in your inventory and you can get them cheap. I mean, at the bins, it's like what, I'm paying like $3 for a hoodie, maybe. If I have space, it's like, and they have that old school good cotton poly feel to them, then
Where they're thicker and you know they're going to wear
yeah,
well
they feel nice.
and wash well instead of that sticks to your hands microfiber.
Yeah, which I never pick. First of all, I don't pick them up because I don't like them. Secondly, I don't pick them up because even if they look cool without touching them, because I am just like, what? I'm going to ship it to somebody and they're going to be like mad that they got that because I mean
hate
somebody
the way it
wears
feels.
them. Somebody wears them, I guess, because they keep making them and they keep selling them. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so yeah, don't pass up the hoodies if you got the space for them because I've been doing pretty well with them.
This is just a basic. I can tell you right now, I have a picture of my father wearing a coat like this in the probably like 1980, late 70s, early 80s. These are just basic car coat that had that faux Sherpa lining. I mean,
From the men's store.
ugly as shit. But they sell. I don't pick them all up, but I'll pick them up if they're in decent shape.
Yeah.
This one I'm sure I got at the bins. I probably paid about $5 based on the weight for this, maybe $6. But yeah, my dad, I literally have a picture of my dad on Christmas Day wearing a jacket just like this, and it was probably 1981. So I was like 5 or 6 years old. So yeah, here we go. Pick them up if you get them cheap enough. They do sell. They can be long tail, but they do sell.
Yeah, they're just tough because if you're getting them by the pound, they're super heavy. They do take up a lot of space, so it's like, yeah, you just gotta decide if you want it to sit around for a little while you wait to sell it. All right, I've had a lot of stuff that's been selling pretty quickly. This is a really cool T-shirt I actually got from Jesse when I went with Ryan when Ryan and Allie were here. And I had bought a bunch of T-shirts. So I
We were
paid
just here, what, a month ago?
Yeah, it wasn't very long ago.
5 weeks ago?
And so I paid $10 for it. But look how cute it is. Look at the cute little rabbit.
Cute little PETA.
And so I actually sold it for $45. I think I had sent out offers. Sold it for $45 plus shipping. But it's just a really cute 80s PETA shirt. And
It's cute.
it is very cute. I like it. And so, yeah, that's all. I paid $10 for it. Sold it for $45. But sold it very, very quickly. I was like, hells yeah.
This was part of a pickup. I did a large pickup through a referral from our friends here in town, Jill and Melanie, with a local woman here, and I bought out a bunch of her vintage clothing and handbags and shoes. So I did pay up a bit because it was some better quality items. I did pay on average $20 an item from her, and this was one of the items. But it did sell very quickly. So $20 into $91 within, maybe sold within 2 weeks. So this is one of the items I picked up from her.
Yeah,
It's pretty. It's just a nice mohair jacket. The tag on it was like $275 was the retail price, and it was new with tags. It just wasn't something... it's one of those new with tags items that, you're never going to get close to the retail.
Well, and she's kind of interesting because she's not a reseller per se.
No,
It's
but
like
she loves to shop.
But she likes to shop, and she'll do stuff consignment, and she just sold you a bunch of stuff. So it's an interesting... I think it's different because when somebody is like that, then they have an eye for stuff, they're going to have an interesting selection of stuff to offer.
She had a really interesting selection. She also had a lot of hard goods and china and jewelry and things like that I just was less interested in. The clothing is more of an interest to me. She did want me to do some consignment for her. So Jill and Melanie have gotten out of the consignment business, and they had been doing consignment for her for a few years. So they referred her to me. However, the majority of what she had was not stuff that I really had a huge interest in consigning.
Right.
So I just went and bought out. I think I spent $1,500 with her, and bought out as much stuff.
How many of those pieces have you sold so far?
Probably 8 to 10 so far.
Nice.
And they've been. I'm still not even done listing them all.
That's good. That's good. All right. Next up for me, this shirt sold for the price you see there, and this is not a vintage shirt, and it's still sold for $60 plus shipping. But I base it on, it's kind of got the cat's delicatessen. It's definitely like an institution, pop culture kind of institution kind of thing. And the graphic is cool, the colors are cool, and then I really like the back of it. Send a salami to your boy in the army. Like it's just like, and there were plenty of other Cat's Deli t-shirts out there. It's just this particular one with this on the back. And so I did price it up a little bit. And I haven't had this listed for a crazy amount of time, maybe 6 months at the most. And so to actually,
I know those of you that talk about sell-through rate and trying to get through, sell things fast. You know, when we say we haven't had something listed for 6 months and it's not that long, welcome to the world of vintage. So vintage in general is long tail. Just for anyone that is not familiar with that, we don't look at sell-through rate when we're purchasing vintage items for the most part. We just know.
I mean, I've been trying to get better with that, and I guess for me, it's more like with this particular one, I'm like, oh, this is a unique piece, so I do want to sell it for a little bit more. But I have been with a lot of, like that PETA t-shirt, it sold very quickly. So I do like figuring out, I have plenty of sources to get stuff. So I really need to get better about having, at least for me, with I think yours is different because of what you sell. With men's t-shirts, I could have a better sell-through rate, and I should be paying a little bit more attention to that. Because t-shirts are freaking t-shirts. Sorry to say.
Okay, so this coat actually came from that woman as well, so I paid $20 for this. Purple mohair vintage. It's like oversized. It has the big bulky shoulder pads. Really nice. Mohair and Angora in general just make me itch. Yeah. I cannot wear sweaters or coats or anything close to my body that is made out of that fabric. It just makes me, ugh. It's like cat hair. It's not quite as bad as cat hair, but I don't like the feel. And it sold for the price you see there. It sold for full price very quickly as well. Sold within a couple of weeks.
The chat went real quiet. Are you guys still alive? Tell me you're still alive over there. I think it's really cool. Color is interesting. Is that like an accurate color?
Yeah, it is. It's like a royal purple, royal blue type.
It's like a very rich looking color. All right. Oh,
Scott's
dead. Scott's dead.
Right, thanks for checking in,
this
Scott.
Is
thanks for checking in from the beyond. We
I just
appreciate
wanted to know if he was dead or not. Well, that's good. I don't have to send him that check for $6.72. Anyway, this is a kind of a cool thing I found at the bins. I don't look in the hard goods or the, like, every once in a while I'll go and glance in where like all the linens and bags are, and occasionally I'll find something cool. And so this was one of those times. It was a dead stock, Cannondale. I don't know is it Pannier? I don't know how you say it.
Probably Pannier.
Which at the originally sold for $125, so it had never been used. It had like some little wear.
So what does that hook onto a bicycle?
Yeah, it hooks onto your bike. Anyway, so
clearly I'm very sporty.
It wasn't very heavy, and so
so you probably paid $3 for it,
if that. I don't even know if it was a pound. But anyway, sold it for $60 plus $12.95 shipping, just because it's kind of a bigger size. And Vicky even boxed this up for me. It was very nice of her, because I think I was working on something else for you.
Yeah.
And so
further in the chat, you'll see.
Further in the chat.
I mean, further in the sale.
Oh, okay. Yes. So I was in the middle of. She needed me to go find stuff for her. That's what it was. She had stuff that she couldn't find, and so she sent me to go find it, and then she grabbed this and boxed it up for me.
Yeah, Katie is the finder of the things. With 5,000 items, even though I have a fairly decent organizational system, I have a lot of shit. It's really what it is. There's so much now that sometimes I need a second eye to help me find something.
True. And some things, like your women's tops in particular, you are not as consistent with your system as you should be. So once a week, probably, I say, so this is why you hate me. This is why you hate me. Anyway, it's a good flip.
This also came from that woman's house. So yeah, I guess I have sold quite a few things. I did take an offer for this for $150. I was happy to take an offer for $150. If you look at some of the photos, I would have priced this much higher. Can you pay attention?
Yeah.
I would have priced this much higher if it didn't have the damage that it had. So this is Yves Saint Laurent. It's the Rive Gauche line, which is very popular from the 80s. This is a very basic piece in general, but I still probably could have gotten about $250 to $300 for it very quickly. Except everywhere around those little wooden buttons, it was kind of orangey. Like someone tried to wash this, and the color seeped out.
Yeah.
So realistically, if I could sew, I would take the buttons off, treat the area around it, and wash it or dry clean it, and then you can put the buttons back on. And that's probably what this buyer is going to do if they care about it at all.
Right.
But in the front and on both sleeves, the buttons were, the color wore off the wooden. I don't know if the buttons were wooden or leather, one or the other, but the color bled.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have done that.
Linda Dean, it is in.
Just post it.
It
right
is
there.
in the description of this video. It's KVT Boss, but it is in the description of this video, and we're very excited that you're going to come. Yay!
Linda.
All right, next up for me. Well, we just had the Formula One here, and I actually have a couple things in my inventory from last year's Formula One. These are like employee items. I had a fleece. I can't remember what I still have in my inventory, and then I had this kind of puffy puffer jacket, not down or anything, but I did not sell it for the price that you see there, but I did sell it for $75, I believe. But I found these at the bin, so it was after last year's event. So I paid, it's pretty lightweight, so I paid maybe $3 at most.
So they probably gave coats to people that were working.
Well, yes.
And then they were like, I'm not wearing this stupid thing.
Well, after the event's over, yeah, where were they ever going to wear it? So they just got rid of it. Anyway, so yeah, $75, and I paid maybe $3.
You know what, Scott? Go ahead and send me a message, and I'll do some research for you and let you know. I'm not as familiar with that brand off the top of my head, but a lot of things are worth doing dry cleaning or selling with issues. I have no problem selling things with issues, especially good vintage or good high end. A lot of people are willing to, get something at a lower price in order to have a certain brand. So
yeah, especially samples, because they may have never gone into production, so could be really unique pieces. All right. Next up for you.
This was a garage sale find I've probably had this about a year. I paid $2 at a garage sale, and I had purchased 3 or 4 of these coats from the 90s. That whole Penny Lane style is very popular, whether it's vintage or current. And Penny Lane, it's basically, they're speaking of that movie Almost Famous, the famous groupie girl, Penny Lane, who is based on a true story. And it's basically, suede or leather coats with fur or faux fur, around the neckline and the fur sleeves. That's what they consider a Penny Lane style. It's not a brand. It's a style. And this sold actually for $150. I had it listed for about a year. But we're talking, this is a very inexpensive. Look at the brand on the, babe.
What? Yes.
Attention. Look at the brand. So Ashley International, this was probably sold at a mall. This was maybe a $50 or $60 coat in the 90s. Not a super high end. That's like that cheap suede. It's not even super well made. But it's the style that you're selling. So it sold for $150.
Yes. I am paying attention. I was just looking at the chat because I also have to follow that lady. All right. Anything else on this one?
Nope. Oh, yeah, your retail prices are that high, Scott, then they are definitely worth investing in dry cleaning or taking it to a tailor if it's a minor issue and needs a repair. If your retail prices are that high, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I would do it.
All right.
And Tina, if you're going to come to the remix this year, I think you are, you'll get to meet Scott.
Yeah.
Scott is going to be one of our speakers, and we're excited. Our topics this year are out of this world. I mean, I can't even tell you guys. I am so excited to start sharing some of our topics. And we also have, we have a couple special guests that we have not announced yet. So
The Row is Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. What?
really?
And they actually have a brand that they're able to get retail prices like that. That's crazy.
Well, when they were kids, they had that brand they sold through Walmart. I
Know.
think we're talking the same.
That's why I'm saying I'm surprised that
I'm pretty
that's
sure
impressive.
my daughter dressed in Mary Kate and Ashley when she was
That's
a kid.
a little different. Anyway, this is a hat I had gotten from Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. I paid $5 for it. It's just a really cool.
That's fun.
I like the whole denim look and everything. And so I've had this one probably about 6 months. Sold it for $62.99 on the old Etsy, but it's a really, really nice hat. Great condition. Just really cool.
I'm looking at the chat there. I agree with Liz. Like Vestiaire is one of them. Also, sending it into the Real is also worth it. That type of stuff is pretty cool. I would definitely. Oh, so Linda's birthday is going to be that week. Allison's birthday is going to be during the remix. Listen, we are going to have some birthday parties, my friends.
Yeah, Allison's going to be 50 just like you.
Allison, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, girl. We are going to be having our event. Like I said, it is the week right before March Madness, so we're trying to get you guys in and out of town before it hits and gets crazy. But
maybe they want to be here for March Madness. You don't know.
That's true. That's true.
You don't know.
Nobody wants to pay those hotel prices, though.
Yeah. All right. Next up for you.
All right. So let me just say, I used to pick up these vintage pachinko machines all the time and package them. And I have lost my affinity for packaging big, heavy, stupid shit lately.
Yeah, me too.
So I picked this up at a garage sale locally. I paid $40 for it. The woman was the original owner. She actually got teary-eyed as I was buying it from her because she had it hanging on the wall when she was a little kid, and she grew up it was in her dad's house and stuff. And as I was walking away, I was like, I can give this back. I don't need to take this. So it was kind of emotional, and I felt bad. But anyway, I paid $40 for it. I had this listed for, it sat around for a long time before I got it listed. I'm going to be honest. Sold for the price you see there, $279.97 plus $50 shipping. I believe the shipping cost me $65 and took me forever. Katie and I both forever to package
Wasn't
this.
worth it. Was it worth it?
They did receive it a few days ago, and I haven't heard anything yet. Knock on wood. That means it probably arrived in one piece. But anyway, $279.97 plus the $50 shipping. Yeah. I don't have anything this difficult left in my inventory to ship, but this was the worst.
I mean, there's a reason why I only sell clothing, guys. I have no interest in this stuff. But when it happens, when she does sell something big like this and needs help, I don't have a choice. And you know what? She never pays me nothing. It's pretty rude. Pretty rude. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, I've got this Nike hoodie that I'm sure I got at the bins. It's got the small swoosh, but this is from the 90s, got the 90s Nike tag on it. And I actually sold it for $89.99. It's like all of my good sales were on other platforms other than eBay. I didn't have any real significant, I think the $75 jacket on eBay was like my highest price thing in the last 3 freaking weeks, because I went back all the way to the 1st of December, the last show we had. So anything higher priced I sold was sold on Etsy or Mercari or Grail. It's ridiculous. eBay is just not getting those bigger numbers for me anyway when it comes to clothing. So, but the Nike stuff is still popular. The vintage, anything vintage. I think the center swoosh is still the most popular of the
Travis
hoodies.
Scott center
swoosh.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be centered for you to get some good money for it. But it did take me a little while to sell this. I probably could have sold it a lot faster had I done it a little bit cheaper. But I'm pretty sure I got this at the bins, so probably paid about $3 for it and sold it for $90.
Yeah, well, I mean, Danny in the chat there. Danny, you sell specifically breakable crap. This is why I don't sell glassware. I don't want anything to do with glassware. I am not buying and selling a swung vase. I don't care how big and beautiful it may be. It's not happening in my life. I don't think I'll be doing any more pachinko machines either. But it is what it is. I will ship and sell almost anything if it's a good buy. Let's be real.
All right, what's going on here?
Okay, this, I did not sell it for the price you see there, first of all. I did sell it for $350.
I mean, that's pretty good too.
Plus shipping. I paid $20 for this. I purchased it about 3 or 4 months ago at the St. Jude gift shop here in between Vegas and Boulder City. So I paid about $20 for it, and I knew it would sell around Christmas time. I did have someone that messaged me and asked if I could. They happened to be in California, which I love California sales because it's right next door.
Super cheap.
This actually came in the original box, Scott, so this was way easy to ship. I just needed a box that was bigger than this box. It still had all of everything around it. So that was easy, and I did actually have a box that was the right size. Life sometimes works that way. So sold for, like I said, $350, and they asked if I could ship it right away because it was California. They wanted to get it for the holiday, and I did. I shipped it the same day because it came in. The sale came in fast. So yeah, it was cute. I mean, I love Christopher Radko. This is not, in my opinion, a great example of Christopher Radko stuff.
Pretty ugly.
You know, there is not a lot of them, and I never put the words rare in a title, but this I will. This one, there are no others listed, and maybe 1 or 2 sold in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So even though it's 2013, I consider that rare.
Yeah.
And so someone probably bought it as a gift. And if you look down at the bottom there, it looks like there's other people selling them. No, the page.
Oh. No.
Oh no,
Oh.
just something.
This one. Pre-owned though. Maybe they don't have the
And they
original
actually
box.
must have just listed it because they used my title.
Those dirty, rotten. Okay.
No, I'm fine with that.
Next up, another hoodie sale, guys. I sold a lot of hoodies. Whoops, what's going on? Sold a lot of hoodies. I believe I got this at the bins, and you can see it's got like the collars cut. But it's got like the nice graphic on the back, and then the front.
What's SUNY?
Southern University of New York. Is that it?
Oh.
I don't know. Somebody can tell us in the chat. I don't remember. Does it say? It might say in my... No, I don't have it spelled out. Anyway, sold it for $89.99. Probably paid $3-4 for it since these hoodies are a little bit heavier. But this is vintage Y2K. Y2K.
Nice.
But sold it for $90. And this is a nice, big, thick, heavy hoodie because it's the reverse weave. And, State University of New York. So I had the New York right. Yeah. I think I sold like a bunch of hoodies for these last few weeks. But it's a good deal.
Okay, so Johnny Was still hit or miss. Like Johnny Was is still a good pickup if you can get it cheap enough. Don't get me wrong. This one I think I paid $15 for. It was new. I picked this up when we had our sourcing trip in Dallas earlier this year with a bunch of our reseller friends. So I picked this up at one of those places. What was that place called? I don't remember what it was called. Twice something.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There was some chain of stores, and I picked up a bunch of new with tags Johnny Was stuff like previous season, and I've sold the majority of it. Pretty good prices.
Yeah.
So I think I paid like $15 for this, and it sold for $75 on the old Poshmark.
Yeah.
We were less than an hour from you. Well, see, Scott, if you watched our channel more, no,
This was like
March?
last spring.
It was March.
Okay, so I got this, dang nabbit. I got this at the bins. And it was, it's a big kind of thick lined,
I would have
robe.
picked that up. You know how I like the robes.
Yeah. And
That looks like a Vikki sale.
I've had this for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. I knew it was going to sell during the winter time, but $89.99. It was heavier, so I probably paid more like maybe $5 for it, but definitely worth it. And it's that classic, what's that, plaid?
Black watch plaid.
Yeah. I'm sure that Allison in the chat will set me straight since her mom is Scottish and knows all the plaids. Anyway, $89.99 from maybe $5, but it's just a cool LL Bean robe.
I love vintage robes. I especially love vintage men's robes.
Yeah.
There's something about, I think it's men are creatures of habit, so they're going to want the same exact robe when theirs starts to fall apart. I think that's how we end up selling. I end up selling so many of them anyway. So this I've had for a bit. I've had this for over a year. This was part of a buyout I did from someone else. You can tell by the photos. I've sold the majority of everything I bought from her. I bought, I don't even know how many pieces, like 1,500 pieces, I think. She closed her business. I bought everything out when she moved away. So I've had this a little over a year, and it sold on the old Poshmark for $85.
All right. Scott says all of his friends and family are getting eBay stuff that hasn't sold yet.
That's, I mean, listen, the good thing is I've been doing this the majority of my daughter's life, so she is never opposed to getting used stuff or thrift store stuff for presents. I know what she likes, although she didn't get anything this year that was used, I don't think. I screwed up.
Yeah, you did. All right, next up, guys. Okay, I have a couple of things I'm going to be showing you guys this week. So this is a t-shirt that I got at the bins that I literally picked up only because it looked cool. So this is how, because I buy a lot more stuff that's not vintage now, because here's the, get out of here. Here's the tag. This is not a vintage tag. And so, but I pick up a lot of graphic tees that aren't vintage, and I just pick them based solely on whether or not I think the graphic looks cool. And so this one, it said virtual self. I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of techie. I don't know what that is, but whatever, it looks cool. And so I just bought it, and I thought, I'll sell it for like $20, whatever. But the nice thing is now we have Google Lens, and it's super easy to just look something up real quick and figure out what it is. And I looked this up, and I'm like, what in the heck? It's like this has gone for like $200 before. What is happening? And it turned out it is actually a DJ, Porter Robinson, does like DJ, like house music, that kind of stuff. And
So he
I
probably
had no
plays Vegas as a DJ.
no, this is like much bigger than Vegas. I don't think it has. It's not. He's not that kind of DJ.
Not the ones like they have the guest ones that come to the clubs.
He just, I don't know. He does.
Marshmello and all those people.
I have no idea. All I know is that his stuff goes for a ridiculous amount of money, and I was like, okay, I accidentally grabbed this because I just thought it looked cool, and I could sell it for $20. Anyway, and somebody made me offer on Grailed for $125, and I was like, yep, I will take that. And I think, where did it go? It might have gone out of the country. I can't remember, but they paid on Grailed. They paid for shipping, and so. But seriously, you never know. If you saw this at the thrift store or at the bins, you probably would think nothing of it because you can't tell just by looking at it. It doesn't even have his name on it, so.
Google.
Yep, Google Lens. Google Lens is so easy now. It is so easy to look at stuff with Google Lens. There's no reason not to do it unless it's really obvious that what you have is not anything special. There's literally no excuse for you not to at least do a quick Google Lens on every piece of clothing, especially when it comes to anything like with words.
It has helped my lister a lot. So my lister is not a reseller. She helps me list clothing. And she's not a reseller. She's not someone that has ever used eBay prior to doing this for me. So she lists for me and she does my drafts in List Perfectly. Well, List Perfectly is integrated with Google Lens as well. So she has learned even to figure out like what the shape of something is called necessarily or a pattern. She's learned to right click and look in Google Lens, and her titles have gotten so much better.
It's so freaking
She's
easy.
been able, I'll be like, oh, how did you know that was the model name of that dress? And she'll be like, oh, Google.
It's so, really, just do yourself a favor, because it's gonna keep you from like screwing up and accidentally listing something for way too cheap. I'm telling you. Because seriously,
Scott, there's when it comes to vintage reality, whether it's t-shirts or vintage clothing, because Katie and I both focus on those two things, you're not always going to find comps. A lot of it is just based on knowledge and collectability and what you specifically know about what the price of something should be. Yeah.
And then sometimes you're guessing, but
it's really hard. People ask often, how do I comp this? How do you comp that? And it's, I don't know. It's a crapshoot these days. You just have to know what you're doing a little bit.
It is. All right. What's this?
This sold pretty quickly. I picked this up when Ryan and Allie were here visiting us. This was a new in box.
I like his hat.
I know. I took it out to show that he hadn't, been taken out of the packaging. I always tell you guys, pick up Gemi. Always pick up Gemi stuff. And I pick it up every time I find it. This one was new in the box. I paid $4.99 at Goodwill at the outlet. They priced it separately for me because it weighs like 6 or 7 pounds. And he sold very quickly. He's on sale right now. I knew I was going to sell him $75 to $100, and that's what it sold for. $75 right on the nose. And heading out tomorrow. He had a Goodwill sticker right on the front of him, but he never made it to the floor. He just went to the bins.
Very nice. All right. My stuff's like in a weird order. Okay. Anyway, this was actually a shirt I got from Jennifer Goodell, who's in the chat. And the interesting thing about this is the sleeves were all messed up. It's like somebody had like taken the sleeves. I thought they had been cut and then stitched, but they actually had just folded the sleeves up inside and then re-stitched them. And so I was able to go in with a stitch ripper and completely take them out, and then I washed it, and you couldn't even tell anymore. And so
was that for the 5 minutes you tried to do flat lays?
Yes, this was beginning of like last year. I tried it for a little while, and I realized that it just made my pictures were significantly worse than what my pictures normally look like, and it actually didn't go that much faster, if at all. But anyway, all the stuff I get from Jen, I pay $5 a piece, and this one, it's been sitting around for a while now, but I got $60 for it, so I'm happy about that. I did have to put a little elbow grease into it and get those stitches out so I could bring it back to its former glory, but still $60, not too shabby.
I remember you getting that one too, actually. Okay, this was also another purchase from when I was with Ryan.
This is
and
what Allie found.
Allie found this, yelled at me when they brought it out in the bins from across, and I went and grabbed it. Big blow mold. This is 36 inches. This is a big one. So this is just a little story with this. I knew this would sell for around this price. They don't sell for much more than 100, 125. Sold for the price you see there. It was a sale on Etsy. My cross poster made an error and did not put shipping on this. So it sold for $112.46 with free shipping. Now, those of you that have sold these blow molds, you know that they're enormous, so the shipping is very pricey. Of course, it's going to the East Coast as far away as possible for me.
Yeah. Well, and so you told me about it, and you were like, I'm just going to cancel it.
I was going to cancel the sale, and I have no problem canceling a sale. I am not one of those people says you need to eat your mistakes. Fuck that. This is business. Your business is your business, and it's supposed to be money in your pocket. You are not here to make other people happy. And I don't care what anybody has to say about that. This is Etsy. You're not going to get a negative review. None of that.
But then you talked to a very wise person.
Well, I probably was going to say this anyway.
Sure.
Can I talk? Yeah. I would have mentioned it in my message to the customer. So basically, I sent a message to the customer and I said, listen, I deeply apologize, but I'm going to have to cancel this sale. This was listed as free shipping in error. If you know anything about these items, this is going to cost me $60 to $75 to ship this to you. I cannot. I normally would have had this listed with $50 shipping, and I knew I was going to eat some of it. That's what I do with larger items. I don't do calculated because calculated across the country looks awful. Unless you live in the middle of the country, calculated is tough. Anyway, my customer said, I absolutely still want it. I knew that it was weird for you to have free shipping. She's like, but I know I still want it. And she said that she would, so she paid me $60 shipping via PayPal on top of this. So it actually sold for this plus shipping. And it worked out well.
Yeah.
So the customer was fine. She was very accommodating. I just gave her my PayPal address and she sent me the $60.
Yeah, because every once in a while you hear about like sellers who like after they sell something to you, then they're like, oh, I need you to pay more for shipping. And it can be kind of an a-hole move. But I think in this case, like you were saying, because you told me you were going to cancel it. And I'm like, why don't you just tell her?
I gave her the option. Tell her what,
I know. And I was like, but this is before you said anything to her. I'm like, because you were super bummed because it was like a good sale. And you're like, you were bummed that you were going to have to cancel it. And I'm like, well, why don't you just tell her what happened and give her the option? Say you're going to have to cancel it unless she wants to, I think in certain circumstances, it's like, it's understandable. So
yeah, she was perfectly fine about it. She wasn't a jerk about it. I apologized profusely. I did the mea culpa and, I'll give you an immediate refund and I deeply apologize. Or if you really do want it, this is for the shipping.
Yeah. And
she's like, I'll send you the money for the shipping right now.
Yep.
Anyway, it worked out okay. So this I actually paid $2.99 for. Also purchased it from the bins. They priced it individually because of the size. And it sold within less than a month after being listed.
I feel like Allie found you a lot of cool stuff at the bins. We just need to bring her here more often to scout for you at the bins. Because she's
a good scout.
Well, it's great because she's not really... Generally, she's just looking for like stuff for herself, like clothes for herself. And so when you go with her thrifting, a lot of times she's like looking for stuff for us. So it's kind of fun. All right. Next up are these ridiculous.
Those are hideous
snowboarding pants. They're kind of like almost like a flare bottom. Well, because you got to put your boots on underneath, but they made them look kind of ridiculous. And the pattern is just gross.
It really is an ugly
pattern. And I actually, when I bought them, I was like, should I even be picking these up? Like, I don't know. Am I wasting my money? Is this going to be dumb? Is anyone going to buy it? And, but I actually didn't have them that long. I think I only had them for like a couple of months and they sold on Poshmark for
tis the season.
$70 on Poshmark. So some lady's going to be out there snowboarding in these hideous pants. Hideous. But whatever. It's a good deal.
Okay, these were a bins find. These sold for the price you see there, $152.96 plus shipping to Canada. They actually went to Canada and I shipped them via UPS. I know the strike is over now. They're still working through the backlog, but at the time I couldn't send them USPS, so they went UPS. I sent a couple of things. So they sold, even though they had the bottom, the damage, so the boots themselves were not damaged. They're in excellent condition. But the bottom had hardened over time, which is what happens with that very porous rubber. It either breaks apart or it gets really, really hard. These did not break apart. They're sturdy as hell, but it like crystallized, it solidified the
Yeah.
spongy bottoms. But they were hard as a rock. They're not breaking. And the customer is fine with them. So yeah, I think I could have gotten more for them if the boots hadn't been damaged on the bottom, but I'm very happy to have sold them for $153 plus shipping to Canada. So
Very nice. All right, so this is another item that I got totally surprised by and did not know what I was buying when I got it. I think I showed this in a haul, but I got this at the bins, and it was, I knew it wasn't vintage, and it had, Jimi Hendrix on it. I was just kind of like, oh, you don't really see Jimi Hendrix sweatshirts anywhere. Maybe I can sell it for $25-$30. And I could tell that it was like, made to look distressed, like factory distressed. But when I got home and I was looking at it, and this is what the tag looked like on the inside, and I realized I hadn't seen this other tag. Hold on, it just went all the way. There was another tag down below, but
you just showed it.
on the inside tag, it said made worn and it said made in the USA. So the fact that it said made in USA made me go, huh. And plus I have this really good, clear tag here, but then the regular tag was just white. But now I had a brand and I looked it up, and their stuff goes like their new stuff, like on their website, goes for like $300, $400, $500, and it's ridiculous. It's like all this.
It's retro.
It's reprints and like retro reproductions. Made onto modern sweatshirts and made to look distressed, and then sold for more than an original would sell for. That's what's crazy. Like if you actually found an original, like some of the stuff that they have is just, the pricing is just nuts. And so I had this priced up, but somebody contacted me in Mercari and they were like, hey, I'm interested in this sweatshirt. And I've had it now for like 4, 5, 6 months. And they were like, what's the lowest you would take? And unlike some sellers, I do not get bent out of shape when somebody asks that. I actually take that as a sincere question and I answer it sincerely. Now, if they come back and try to like continue to get me to go down on my price, it's not going to happen. If you ask me for my lowest, you're getting my lowest. And so I told them $100. And even though Mercari is changing their pricing and their fees yet again, in the beginning of January, we're still under the old deal, so I get the full $100, and I'm like, sweet, awesome. I paid maybe $2 for this because it was kind of a smaller sweatshirt, and sold it for $100. So there. What do you think about that?
Good sale. I probably would have kept that if it wasn't worth so much.
Yep.
Because I'm liking this. That I can wear a small or a medium and oversized stuff now. Anyway, this was a purchase. I actually remember where I got this. I got this at the ARC thrift store when I was with Liz in
nice.
Colorado last year. So I've had this for over a year. It was October of last year I grabbed this. And so I've had it for a bit, but I still pick up the members only stuff. The down-filled, this is just a nice jacket. Down-filled members only jacket. So I think I paid about $10 for it, maybe a little less. They don't overprice their vintage there, or they didn't. They may be a little higher now. Sold it for the $112.46. Again, that's an odd price, but that was a sale price. Plus shipping. This also went to Canada via UPS. And UPS under £4 is still very close to the regular international first class international shipping. It just takes longer, takes a little bit longer. Actually, I shouldn't say that. This took about a week. They already got delivery on it.
Nice.
But what I wanted to say about it is that when you're seeing the difference in prices, you don't generally want to pull UPS versus USPS, because UPS is a third party, has a third party delivery fee. So,
yeah. Michelle says that, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Michelle says that she did a Liz O'Kane style temper tantrum at Mercari and deleted everything on there. I am one of the people where when they changed the fee structure, my sales went up, and they've been consistently, like, I don't make crazy amounts of money in Mercari, but I always, like, there were times when I would go weeks without a single order in process on my Mercari, and now I always have several in process on Mercari. And so I'm kind of curious, like, what's going to happen when they go back to the old way.
So I sold better under the old fee structure in Macari. I did not go up unlike you. Now my sales actually were the opposite. When Poshmark decided to do it for like a half a second, my Poshmark sales went way up. When there were no fees, and they went way back down again now that they charge the fees again. Who knows? I think the majority of these platforms, my Poshmark sales kind of dipped quite a bit when they started doing live selling last year, and they've never quite recovered. So,
well, what I'm hoping, because for whatever reason, I got more, I mean, I don't know if part of it maybe is because people did rage quit like Liz, and so I had less competition. I rage
quit Depop for that same reason.
So then I wonder, when they go back to the old way and it becomes cheaper for people to shop, I wonder if my sales will go up even more. Maybe. So mayhaps we will see.
I got rid of Depop. I had this is the second time I've gotten rid of Depop. I went back on Depop because Crystal had been encouraging that she was doing well on Depop, and I was like, oh, I'd been away from it for a year. I'll try again. Nope, same shit.
Crystal's a liar.
Maybe only Crystal does well on Depop. I don't know. Everybody's different.
Everybody's different, and that's the thing. Because like our friend Brent, he sells the same kind of stuff. His prices are very similar to mine, and he did not have any additional luck on Mercari when they changed things over. So I do not. It's one of those things where it's like, who freaking knows? It's hard. It's really, really hard to say.
If we could understand how these platforms worked and why they did the way they did, we'd all be rich, right? We could sell that lightning in a bottle. What's going to sell? How's it going to sell? What platform is the best? Yeah. All we can kind of do is keep trying. Everybody's got a different business model. There's no one way or no right way to do things. And we tell you guys this all the time. If you're ever listening to any other, YouTubers or resellers or whatever, gurus in the business, listen, anybody that is telling you that their way is the only way and their way is the right way is completely full of shit, and you should stop listening to them.
Yeah.
Because there isn't.
No,
there is not one way. There is not one right way.
There are some best practices. There are some things that work better than other things. But there are definitely sellers who have drastically different approaches to selling who are, who can be successful either way. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do things.
There's many ways that you can be successful in this business, and there's no one right way. You've got to find the one that works for you, the one that works for your business model, the one that you can create a business model around, selling things that you like to sell. Like, here's the thing, like, this is a custom made business, right? We can figure out what you like to sell, how you want to sell it. Could I be selling more and making a lot more money if I were an Amazon seller? Absolutely. Yeah. I'm very intelligent. I would do very well. My brother makes millions selling on Amazon, and that's not an exaggeration. That's what he does. And guess what? I have zero interest still.
Yeah.
I just want to, do well.
So this last part of the show is when we talk about like goals of the last week and what we want to do moving forward. We're in the middle of the freaking holidays. Who freaking cares?
Listen, just get through the end of the year, guys.
We're just trying to, exactly. We're just trying to get through. I will say, like, I've been doing pretty well, like this last, like recently since we got back. I've been doing pretty well with sticking to my 10 a day. I feel like I've been on a pretty good, trajectory, pattern. I've been getting back into it because it was really hard. We had so much stuff going on, so many people coming to visit, so many reasons, like us going, traveling. It's just really hard to keep on track. And so I feel like I'm doing in a pretty good spot right now. I'm gonna do some listing for a few hours now before we have more stuff to do to prep for the holidays, but so this week has been kind of chaotic and stuff, but I feel like I'm still managing to keep up. So that's all I'm trying to do is just kind of keep the flow going, because if I get too far off track, I'm somebody who's really, really good with a schedule, and being strict with it. It really helps me to stay on it. If things get thrown off too much, it can be hard for me to get back to it.
You know what? We didn't get eggnog.
Every time we get eggnog, we end up not even drinking it. So.
I know. I like eggnog.
Hey, guess what? I got eggnog. It's in the fridge.
Okay, I can just not drink it.
Now just be really happy about it, and then you'll forget we ever had it because we didn't. But even if we did, you'd still forget, and then you'd never drink it. And then in a month, we'd be like, gross, let's throw this out. So there you go. I totally got you eggnog.
Okay. Anyway, if all you do is get through the rest of the year with trying to get, keep a few listings active, get your shipping done, and deal with family and everything else that comes with the holidays, then that's enough. You've done enough. You've done enough.
Yeah.
We're happy. We have family coming to town. We're gonna have a great time. And I'm not going to be working a ton while my family's here. I'm not working Christmas Eve. I'm not working Christmas Day.
Well, we have to ship on Christmas Eve, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
That's
all right. I'll ship.
We have to ship.
Whatever.
But most likely we won't sell much because we ship tomorrow. So the likelihood that you're going to sell a significant amount of items between tomorrow morning
not likely.
and Tuesday morning, I think it's pretty slim. So, but yeah, you do have to do a little bit of work.
Whatever.
Sorry about it. My apologies.
I'm going to be watching Christmas movies. I've watched a lot of them already. I'm going to watch more now.
Yeah, watch whatever it is you want to watch because when I'm done with my work, we're watching Gremlins. Actually, I get to pick 2 movies that I want to watch. And one of them is going to be Gremlins.
Yes.
And you did already agree to that. But
I did.
Gremlins is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I
need to watch the Santa Claus 3 because
there you go. You can watch that one without me. I like it, but it's fine. I've seen it a million times. Anyway, Norma, we did a video not last year, but the year before, I think was our first Christmas here. Mm-hmm. And there is I believe we did a video tour. So if you go back 2 years, in our videos, maybe just search Christmas in our videos, there should be a video that's just a tour of our holiday decorations, I believe.
Yeah, we have, I don't know how many trees now. 1, 2, 3,
8.
4.
We have 8.
8 or 9 trees.
Babe,
8.
I literally just told you 8, and you're like 8 or 9. You like to pad the numbers a little. I promise you, we have 8.
Yeah, 8 Christmas trees. They're all themed and all over the house. Thank you. The aluminum tree is one of my favorites. It's a vintage original 50s palm tree. It's just a little tabletop one.
Yeah. Vicki really wants a full size one.
I really want a 6-foot aluminum palm tree. They just do not happen here. And I'm saying palm, P-O-M, not palm, P-A-L-M.
But that was a present that I got for you because I knew that she really I know she wants a full size one, obviously. But I'm like, okay, well, for now, maybe she can have a little baby one just for her office. And it actually is perfect because you've got like vintage, you got a whole vintage setup there. And so it's really pretty neat.
Yeah, I want a 6-foot one. I just refuse to pay the $500 retail for them. I just can't find them. Mm-hmm. I can't find I won't pay $500 for one, and I can't find them here. If I were on the East Coast, I would find one at a garage sale or an estate sale or something. I'll get one eventually. It'll happen. I need an aluminum tree. I want a full 50s tree, and that one will go here in the office too. I also want to do a pink flocked tree in our bedroom. We don't have one in the bedroom, so that might be a next year thing.
I will tell you. Listen, Tommy, Vicki likes Gremlins. Okay. I will tell you, I will spare you. I will not make you watch One Magic Christmas with me, even though that's one of my favorite Christmas movies, with Mary Steenburgen.
God, I watched it already with you a couple years ago.
I just said I'm not going to, it is not awful. You just don't like it. Has anyone else ever seen One Magic Christmas? It's got Mary Steenburgen. It's a very odd, it's a Disney movie. It's a very odd Christmas movie because it's kind of it's got moments that are kind of depressing. I think there are some moments in it where I'm like, this is kind of a traumatic movie. But it's good. I love it. Come on. Tell me you've seen somebody. I need at least one before we sign off. I need at least one person in the chat to tell me that they've seen One Magic Christmas and they love it because I think it's a fantastic Christmas movie. Vicki just never saw it when she was young, so she doesn't appreciate it. She doesn't fully appreciate it.
Let's see. So one of the trees that you can see, if you look all the way down our hallway in back of us, the one that's lit up, that's a Misfit tree. That's the Island of Misfit Toys, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Misfit tree that has all Misfit ornaments on it. And then to the right of that, you really can't see, but I do have a peacock tree. It's a rose gold peacock tree with all peacock ornaments and a peacock topper that I've had that stays up year round. Yeah. That's the only one that stays up year round. And I do have one downstairs that changes out with the seasons. That is right now our vacation tree.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We have a vacation tree.
I get an ornament every time we go away on vacation, and I put all those ornaments on there. So
these people are saying they've never even heard of it before. It's an outrage.
I had never heard of it until she made me watch it.
Come on now. Come on, One Magic Christmas. It's from 1985.
I'm gonna make it focus.
I'm trying. It's from 1985. It's so good. Jeez. I'm very disappointed in each and every one of you. Just so you know. It's a great movie. It's got Harry Dean Stanton in it, Mary Steenburgen. Come on.
Who's Nathan? What is Tommy talking about with Nathan? Bot Nathan?
No, I said that I think it's a typo. I was saying that we were going to stay on here until somebody said that they'd seen the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm just going to give up. I'm sorry that none of you have known the true magic of Christmas from the movie One Magic Christmas, but whatever. Or if you have Disney Plus, you can go ahead and watch it because it is good and you're welcome. And don't listen to Vicky. She has terrible taste in movies. It's true. It's true.
Sure.
It's very true. All right, guys. We will see you later. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy all the things.
And we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah. Wait, will we? Probably.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
I don't know. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.